John Calvin on Psalm 65, verse 4. Blessed is the man whom thou choosest, and causest to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple. Blessed are those you choose. It is evident that all are not alike called, and observation proves the ignorance of those who will assert that the grace of God is extended to all in common without any choice exerted on his part. Can any reason be imagined why God should not call all alike, except it be that his sovereign election distinguishes some from others? Faith and prayer may be means for procuring us an interest in the grace of God, but the source whence it flows is not within, but without us. There is a blessedness in exercising trust upon God and embracing his promises, a blessedness experienced when, through faith in Christ the Mediator, we apprehend him as our Father and direct our prayers to him in that character. But before this faith and prayer can have no existence, it must be supposed that we who are estranged from God by nature have been brought near by an exercise of his favor. We are near him, not as having anticipated his grace and come to him of ourselves, but because in his condescension he has stretched out his hand, as far as hell itself, to reach us. To speak more properly, he first elects us, and then testifies his love by calling us. It is noticeable, also, that though God separated the seed of Abraham to be a peculiar people, entitled as the circumcision to a place in his temple, there can be no question that David recognized a distinction even amongst those who were Jews, all not having been the subjects of God's effectual calling, nor yet properly entitled to a place in his temple. The psalmist alludes, indeed, to the outward sanctuary, when he speaks of the Jews as chosen to approach God. But we must remember that all were not real members of the church who trod the court of the temple, but that the great qualifications necessary were the pure heart and the clean hands. Accordingly, we must understand by those brought near to God such as present themselves before him in the exercise of genuine faith, and not such as merely occupy a place in his temple as to outward appearance. But again, the being chosen and the being called to approach God are two things mentioned here together to correct any such vain idea as that the sheep of God's flock are allowed to wander at will for any length of time, and not brought into the fold.